Keishka, and this is my resurrection story.
My name is Jerry Rodriguez, and this is my resurrection story.
So I was raised with my mom, my sister, and my dad. My dad was really strict, and we went to a Pentecostal church, Misión Imposible, like I like to call it. And we went to church on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, twice on Sundays, you name it. And we went to church straight until like I was about 13 years old.
I grew up here in Florida. We were doing okay growing up. I decided to go do my own things like every hard-headed teenager. I thought I knew everything. I thought I could control my path in life. Got involved in the streets, started hanging out with the wrong people. Always struggled with taking orders, so I decided to join a gang. But not only did I join it, I put in extra work just so I could take control of the gang.
I would describe my childhood in my eyes traumatizing and good at the same time. I have good memories, but I also have a lot of personal bad memories as well.
The most hurtful and impacting moment in my life was when I was 16. After school, just hanging out like I was always doing with my brothers. I had one of my brothers that had an issue from the past that came back, and it ended up, he got jumped, about 15, 20 guys. I jumped in to help him without hesitating, without nothing. I didn't care what was gonna happen. We were together and that was it. When the fight was over, my sister held me up and realized I was full of blood. I was bleeding everywhere. She lifted up my shirt, realized they stabbed me. Not only did they stab me 5 times. I had a punctured lung. My body got numb. I passed out. I woke up in the helicopter, rushing me to the hospital. Lost a lot of blood. A lot of people don't know how I even made it through that. Most people thought I wasn't gonna make it home. A couple days after I got released from the hospital, detectives came to my house with a laptop, showed me a video. They had some questions. When they opened the computer, they showed me the tape of what happened. It ended up happening in front of the security camera of the apartment complex we lived. They caught the whole thing on tape, and what they really caught that hurt me, that really changed something inside of me, was seeing that after I jumped in to help my so-called brother, he got away. And not only did he get away, but he stood there and watched about 4 or 5 guys passing a knife around, taking turns stabbing me, and he was just standing there with his hands in his pocket. Didn't even try to help me. Pretty much left me for dead.
One of the biggest, most hurtful moments in my life, I would say, was when I was 19 years old. I was pregnant with Jayla. I was about 5 months pregnant, and my father did something very hurtful to my family. After we confronted him about the situation, he kept blowing up my phone, and he wanted to know where I was at, and he started chasing me in a car ride while I was pregnant 5 months. And he pulled me over, he pulled up next to me on the side of the road and basically told me he didn't want anything else to do with me. He hated me. He didn't want to know anything with my daughter. And he stopped talking to me ever since that day. He doesn't want to have a relationship with me. And At that moment, I had bought a car from him. He took my money, he took my car, he left me without transportation at 5 months, pregnant, and it was one of the most difficult moments of my life, because even till this day, I have tried to reach out to him and he still doesn't want to have a relationship with me.
What brought me to Jesus, really it was my wife's friend, Jessie, always bothering her, begging her to come to church. My wife always told me about it. I ignored it. I really didn't. It was whatever for me. I didn't care. I didn't need no church. To me, I thought I could do it on my own. I already been living in the streets on my own. I did everything for my own. I defended myself. I didn't need no God. So what made me vulnerable to visiting the church was my daughter, Jayla, being born. I cried just seeing her for the first time. I broke down. I was like a baby. She stole my heart. I was willing to do anything for her. I realized I can't be having her around these type of things, and I can't be living this life no more. It wasn't easy to let it go, but I tried. I told my wife, all right, we'll go ahead and visit at church. We showed up. I try to be me. Try to act like, okay, I'm at the church. But it really touched me when I walked in the doors. People showing me love that I wasn't used to. Hugs and kisses everywhere. It was something new to me, and I didn't understand it, but I was like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna roll with it. And I like the church. I told my wife, well, I'll come back next Sunday. And a couple years passed by, and we really never left. We kept coming back. I was coming to church, but I was still selling cocaine. Getting out of church, still doing some things. It took me a little while to get that out of me, but God did it. I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect, only God's perfect, and he sat there and he took his time with me, and I understand everything's in his time, but I feel like he really waited and gave me a chance to come to him and really surrender everything.
I believe the moment that brought me to Jesus was after I had my daughter. My relationship with my husband was horrible. It was at its breaking point. On both ends, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and I couldn't take it anymore. And I knew that I had to do something. I knew about God because I was raised in church, and I really, really did miss him, and I knew that I had to come back to him, and I couldn't just keep living this life without him. Now that I have Jesus, I feel like I'm an overcomer. I'm victorious. I'm joyful. I'm able to be myself, and I'm not living this fake life anymore. Who you see is who you get, and I'm thankful because of him, because I'm free. And I'm we have high times, we have low times, but it's not something that I'm always stuck in rock bottom. I know that I can be down on a Monday, but by Wednesday when I get to church, I'm free and I'm filled up again with his spirit, and that's what I love about having Jesus in my life.
What I want others to know about Jesus is he's amazing, he's forgiving, he's merciful, he's always there. He's never gonna leave you, no matter what you're going through, no matter you think you're by yourself, you're in your car crying, you think you're by yourself, you're in your house crying, you think you're by yourself, you're fighting with your husband or your wife, you think you're by yourself. He's there. You're just not taking the time to talk to him. Another thing I want you to know about him is no matter how many times you fail, he is always there with his arms open, ready to pick you up. I fell many times, and he's always picked me up.
What I want you to know about Jesus is that it doesn't matter what walk you find yourself in life. It doesn't matter if you're a drug addict. It doesn't matter if you're in a gang. It doesn't matter if you're pregnant by yourself or and you feel by yourself. It doesn't matter what situation you find yourself in. God is always available, and He has His arms ready and open to receive you with His love. My name is Jayshka, and this is my resurrection story.
My name is Jerry, and this is my resurrection story.